Hello viewers, in BSc 6th semester Mathematics paper 2, there is a unit number 3 as tensors and space-time structures. In this lecture, we will discuss some basic concepts which are very useful and important to understand a very powerful mathematical quantity called as tensor. But before that, let us have a quick look at the background for a tensor. We shall recall some concepts and principles that have already been studied in the special theory of relativity. We have the principle of general covariance, which states that the laws of physics should take the same mathematical form in all reference frames. Let us try to understand this. Here the word reference frame is used and not inertial reference frame strictly. Means the frames may be inertial or non-inertial. Suppose there are two different reference frames. So let S1 and S2 be any two reference frames, then whatever be the form of any physical law in frame S1, it has the same form in frame S2. That is, the form of the physical law should not vary from frame to frame. This is one of the central principles in the development of general relativity. Next thing, we have seen in the special theory of relativity that no inertial reference frame was preferential to any other inertial frame, but it preferred inertial reference frames over non-inertial reference frames. This means all inertial frames are equivalent. That is, no inertial frame is to be given more importance as compared to other inertial frames, but the preference is given to inertial frames over non-inertial frames. This means, in short, that if all frames are inertial, they are equivalent. But if there are some inertial and some non-inertial, then preference is to be given to inertial frames. This is the principle of equivalence, this second. In these two principles, what is the difference? In first, we are not distinguishing inertial and non-inertial frames, but in the second, there is made a distinction between inertial and non-inertial frames. We have to abolish this difference or preference between inertial and non-inertial reference frames so that we have the equivalence of all the frames. The description of physical phenomena should not depend upon who make the measurements. All the reference frames should be equivalent. This is one of the important consequences of theory of relativity. General theory of relativity eliminated preference for inertial frames by showing that there is no preferred frame, inertial or non-inertial, for describing the nature. That is, any observer can make measurements and the numerical quantities obtained depend only on the coordinate system used. This suggested a way of formulating relativity using invariant structures that are independent of the coordinate system used and have an independent existence. So, we were in need of those quantities in terms of which, if the physical laws are expressed, then they are independent of coordinate systems. The most suitable such mathematical structure seem to be a tensor, because the results expressed in terms of tensors are independent of coordinate system used to define the points of the space under consideration. So, In tensor calculus, we seek statements which are valid in all coordinate systems rather than in a particular coordinate system. This is due to the fact that the physical laws, if they are to be valid, must be independent of the choice of the coordinate system used to state them mathematically. The subject of tensors originated by G. Ricci in 1887 and subsequently developed by his student Levi Civita. Also, it is developed by Gauss while studying the differential geometry and other mathematicians and physicists also. During the study of stresses and tensions in the interior of a deformed body, physicists discovered a collection of 6 numbers inseparable from one another, which behave like the 6 components of a certain quantity called afterwards tensors, which are more complex than vectors. Tensors are most frequently used in the fields of general theory of relativity, fluid dynamics, stress-strain analysis, differential geometry, linear algebra, and many more. Tensor calculus forms an essential part of the mathematical background required by applied mathematicians, physicists, space scientists, and engineers. Algebraic properties of tensor form the subject matter of linear algebra, while their differential properties that of differential geometry. Application of tensors in mathematical physics was accelerated because of their use by Einstein in his general theory of relativity. Einstein theory of relativity and gravitational theories are expressed in the language of tensors. Which type of quantities are called tensors? How they are defined? We shall see this now. Tensors defined mathematically are simply arrays or grids of numbers or functions which transform according to certain rules under a change of coordinates. A tensor may be defined at a single point or at collection of isolated points of space or space-time or over a continuum of points. It means the tensor is defined at every point within the region of space or space-time. A tensor may consist of a single number, and in this case it is referred as a tensor of order 0 or a scalar, and hence a scalar may be thought of as an array of dimension 0, same as the order of a tensor. An example of a scalar would be the mass of a particle or object, as it has no direction but only magnitude. If some scalar functions are defined or some scalar function is defined at every point of some region of the space, we say that there is defined a scalar field on that region. If we consider a body having some volume, then every point of that body is a particle with some mass, and hence mass is defined at every point of that body. Thus a scalar field is defined, and so the mass per unit volume, that is the density, is an example of a scalar field. Another example of a scalar field is the value of the gravitational potential energy as a function of position. Both of these are single numbers or functions that vary continuously from point to point and hence define a scalar field. Next is the tensor of order 1 known as a vector. Like a scalar field, here it defines a vector field. In two-dimensional space, a vector has two components. In three-dimensional space, it has three components. So, in n-dimensional space, a vector has n components. So, a vector that is a tensor of order 1 may be thought of as an array of dimension 1. This is because the components of a vector can be visualized as being written in a column or along a line which is one-dimensional. For example, an electric field in space. Because at any point of the space, electric field requires more than one number for its characterization because it has both magnitude, that is its strength, and it acts along a definite direction. Generally, the magnitude and the direction both of the field vary from point to point. So we saw that scalar is a tensor of order 0 and vector is a tensor of order 1. Tensors can be defined to all orders. So we have defined the tensor of order 0 and tensor of order 1. Tensor of order 0 is a scalar and tensor of order 1 is a vector. Tensor of order more than 1 can also be defined. So above a vector, there are tensors of order 2 and more, whose components are written in the form of 2 by 2 matrix. If the tensor is of order 2, that is a two-dimensional array. So the components of a second order tensor can be written as a two-dimensional array. We know that the vectors, that is tensor of order 1, represent physical properties more complex than scalars. Therefore, the matrices, that is tensors of order 2 and more, represent physical properties more complex than vectors. There are more complex phenomena that require tensors of even higher order. For example, in Einstein's general theory of relativity, the curvature of space-time, which gives rise to gravity, is described by the tensor called Riemann curvature tensor, which is a tensor of order 4. Since it is defined in four-dimensional space, it can be represented as a four-dimensional array having 4 raised to the power 4, that is 256 components. So the tensors are the quantities that transform according to certain rules under a change of coordinates.